I found a second wedding ring in my husband's desk drawer, and everything fell apart. My name is Sarah. I'm 34. I've been married to David for 9 years. We have 2 kids. Emma is 7, and Lucas is 5. We live in Portland, Oregon. David works in tech and travels a lot for his job. Or at least, that's what he told me. I was looking for his passport because we were planning a family trip to Seattle. I opened his desk drawer, and there it was, a gold wedding band, just sitting there, next to some old business cards and a stack of photos. My hands started shaking. I picked up the photos, and my stomach sank. It was him, with a different woman, a blonde woman, at what looked like a wedding. And in some photos, there were kids. Not our kids. I couldn't move for like 20 minutes. I just stood there holding these photos, staring at them. At some point I started crying. Real hard. The kind where you can't breathe right. David came home around 6 that night. He always came home around 6 on Thursdays. I was sitting on the couch with everything spread out on the coffee table. The ring, the photos, all of it. He walked in and his face went white. He literally dropped his briefcase. "Sarah," he said. "Let me explain." "Explain what?" I was so angry I could barely talk. "Who is she?" "Her name is Michelle. I met her 5 years ago at a conference." "5 years?" I stood up. "You've been doing this for 5 years?" "It's not what you think," he said. "I love you. I love our family. Then why do you have another wedding ring? Why are there photos of you with another woman's kids?" I was yelling now. "How many kids does she have?" "2. But Sarah, please." "Please what? Please sit down and listen to your excuses? You got married to her, David. You have a whole other family." He tried to move toward me and I backed away. Don't come near me." "I was going to leave her," he said. "I swear I was. I was planning to end it and tell you everything." "When were you planning that? At our 10th anniversary? When Emma graduated high school?" I grabbed the photos. "How many people know about this?" "No one. Just Michelle's mother." I laughed. It was a mean laugh. "Everyone at her work knows. Everyone at her family knows. You're a liar. You're a massive liar." He sat down on the couch and put his head in his hands. "I know. Do you love her?" He didn't answer right away. That was the answer. "Yes," he finally said. "But I love you too." "I know that doesn't make sense." "It doesn't make sense because you can't love 2 people like this. You can't have 2 families. You can't have 2 lives." I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. I called my mom. I called my best friend Lisa. I cried for hours. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I called a divorce lawyer. Her name was Rachel, and she was sharp. I showed her everything, the photos. I told her about the other marriage, the other kids, all of it. "This is actually good for you," Rachel said. "Infidelity, fraud marriage, abandonment of marital duties. We can use all of this." I filed for divorce on a Tuesday. I also filed a police report about the second marriage. Turns out in Oregon, marrying someone when you're already married is bigamy. It's a crime. David got arrested 2 weeks later. Michelle tried to claim she didn't know he was already married, but there was too much evidence. Their marriage was annulled. He ended up taking a plea deal. I got the house. I got primary custody of the kids. I got support payments that are substantial. His career got destroyed because his company found out. They fired him. He moved away to Nevada. Emma and Lucas don't really understand what happened yet. They know Daddy moved far away. They know we don't see him much. I'm protecting them from the full truth for now. But I know exactly what he did, and he's paying for it now. My wife's best friend Sarah texted me out of nowhere, asking to meet up alone, and what she showed me made my hands shake so bad I could barely hold my phone. Let me back up. I'm Marcus, I'm 34, and I've been married to Jennifer for 8 years. We have 2 kids, Emma who's 6, and Jack who's 4. We live in Portland. Things have been fine. Not great, but fine. Jennifer works in marketing. I'm in IT. We don't fight much. We just kind of exist together, you know? Then last Wednesday, Sarah texted. "Can we talk?" "Not here. Meet me at Pine Ridge Cafe tomorrow at 3 p.m. Please don't tell Jen." I stared at that message for like 5 minutes. Sarah and Jen have been friends since college. They do everything together. Yoga, brunches, girls' nights. And now Sarah's asking me to keep a secret from her best friend. I almost didn't go, but something in the tone of that text scared me, so I went. Sarah was already there when I walked in, sitting in the corner with a coffee she hadn't touched. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her eyes were red and swollen. "Thanks for coming," she said when I sat down. Her voice was shaky. "Sarah, what's going on? Is Jen okay? Are the kids okay?" "They're fine. Physically they're fine." She pulled out her phone and set it on the table between us. "I found some things, and I didn't know what to do. I've been sitting on this for a week, and I can't anymore." "Found what things?" She opened her photo app and turned the screen toward me. It was a screenshot of a dating app, Bumble, and it was Jen's profile. Not a fake account. Her real pictures, her real name. Her bio said, "Married, looking for some excitement. Husband doesn't need to know." I didn't say anything. I just stared at it. "There's more," Sarah said quietly. "Keep scrolling." I swiped through screenshots, conversations, with 5 different men. 5. Some were just messages, but others, some had plans made. Dates. One guy she was supposed to meet up with last month at the Marriott downtown. "How did you find this?" I heard myself ask. My voice sounded like it was coming from underwater. "She left her iPad open at my place 2 weeks ago. She was in the shower. I was trying to send myself a recipe, and I saw the notification pop up. A message from some guy named Derek saying, 'Can't wait to see you Friday night.' I didn't know what to do. I started digging. Why didn't you tell me right away?" "Because I wanted to make sure first. I wanted to be absolutely sure before I blew up your life." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I'm telling you now because I can't keep lying to your face every time we have dinner. I can't watch you smile at her and not say anything." I kept scrolling. The dates went back almost 2 years. 2 years. We've been married 8 years and she's been doing this for 2. "How many people know about this?" I asked. "Just me. I haven't told anyone. Not even my husband." I set the phone down. I couldn't look at the pictures anymore. There's something else, Sarah said. She took a breath. One of the guys, his name is Connor. They've been talking for like 6 months, and Marcus, he's been asking her to leave you. My stomach dropped. She told him no, I think, but he's been pushing. I found messages where he's like, just leave him. I make good money. You'd be fine. And she keeps saying she needs to think about it. I stood up. I couldn't sit there anymore. What are you going to do? Sarah asked. I don't know. I need to think. Don't confront her yet, Sarah said quickly. Not until you have a plan. Marcus, she's not the person we thought she was. I drove around for 3 hours, just driving, not thinking, just existing in the car while everything fell apart. Then I got home. Jennifer was in the kitchen making dinner. She looked up when I walked in and smiled like it was a normal day. Hey babe, you're home late. Work was crazy? I didn't answer. I walked past her and went upstairs to our bedroom. I locked the door and called a lawyer. I needed to understand what I could do before she knew that I knew. I was on the phone with the lawyer for 40 minutes. He told me to not say anything yet, to gather more evidence, to document everything, to talk to a custody lawyer specifically about the kids. When I hung up, I sat on the edge of the bed we've shared for 8 years. And that's when I heard Jennifer's footsteps coming up the stairs. She was coming to find me. I heard her hand on the doorknob. Then she started to knock. And that's when my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I know you met with Sarah. We need to talk. I found out my boyfriend of 4 years was spending every weekend at work conferences, while my sister kept lying about where she was too. Let me back up. My boyfriend Marcus is 31, I'm 29, and we've been together since college. We lived together in Denver for 2 years. My sister Claire is 26, and we've always been close, or at least I thought we were. Marcus traveled for work a lot, or so I believed. Every other weekend he'd say he had a conference in Boulder or Fort Collins. Sometimes it was a client dinner in Aspen. I never questioned it because he'd send me pictures of the venues and the food. He seemed exhausted when he came home. He'd sleep most of Sunday and talk about how boring the meetings were. Claire was doing the same thing. She'd disappear every other weekend. She said she was helping a friend move, or going to yoga retreats, or visiting someone from her old job. I'd ask her where, and she'd get vague. Just a couple hours away, she'd say. I thought she was being flaky. I'd roll my eyes and move on. The thing that changed everything was stupid. Marcus's phone died in the car while we were driving to my parents' house. He asked to use mine to text his boss. While I was unlocking it, I saw his location sharing was on. I noticed we were heading in the opposite direction from where he said his conference was supposed to be. I didn't say anything right then. But that night, after he fell asleep, I looked at his phone. I know that's not great. I felt awful doing it, but something felt wrong. His calendar was full of entries that just said conference, with fake addresses. His text thread with someone named C was deleted, but I could see the preview in his notifications. The last message said, same place as always, can't wait to see you. My hands were shaking. I opened his photo library. There were hundreds of pictures I'd never seen. Him and Claire, at restaurants, at hotels, kissing, in bed together. I threw up in the bathroom. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat there on our couch in the dark, staring at nothing. By morning, I was numb. I called Claire. We need to talk, I said. About what, she asked. Come over, now. When she got there, I showed her the pictures. Her face went white. She started crying immediately. How long, I asked. 2 years, she whispered. It started at your birthday party. I remembered that party. Marcus had spent a lot of time talking to Claire in the kitchen. Does he love you? I asked. I don't know, she said. He says he does. He says he's going to leave you. I laughed. Actually laughed. It was the worst sound I'd ever made. Marcus came home that night. I was waiting in the living room with all the photos printed out, spread across the coffee table. He walked in and saw them. He froze. Before you say anything, he started. Don't, I said. Just don't. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's true. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you for months. Months? I stood up. You've been lying to my face for 2 years. I know. And my sister. My sister has been lying to me too. I know, he said again. Get out, I said. Pack a bag and get out of my apartment. He tried to argue. He tried to explain. He said he never meant to hurt me. He said it just happened. He said we could work through this. I told him no. I told him I'd contacted a lawyer. I told him I wanted him off the lease by the end of the month. Then I called my parents and told them everything. My mom didn't believe me at first. Then I sent her the pictures. Claire tried to call me 17 times that day. I didn't answer once. Marcus moved out 2 weeks later. We're getting through the divorce now. Claire got kicked out of my parents' house. She's living with Marcus in a 1-bedroom apartment across town. I haven't spoken to either of them in 6 months. My therapist says I'm doing well. I say I'm just done. Done with both of them. Done with the lies. Last week I heard from a mutual friend that Marcus and Claire got engaged. I felt nothing when I heard that. Not anger, not sadness, just nothing. Like they were strangers now. Like they'd always been strangers. I found my wife's burner phone, hidden in a toolbox in the garage, and the messages on it made me feel sick. Let me back up. My name is David. I'm 42. I've been married to Sarah for 16 years. We have 2 kids. Emma is 14, and Jake is 11. We live in a nice house in the suburbs of Portland. At least, I thought everything was nice. 3 days ago, I was looking for a socket wrench in the garage. Sarah had asked me to fix a shelf in the kitchen, and I needed to grab some tools. I was digging through the old red toolbox, the one we got when we first bought the house, when I felt something wrapped in a cloth at the very bottom. It was a phone. An iPhone, black, no case. The screen was dark. I knew it wasn't Sarah's. She carries her phone everywhere. It's an older model, silver, with a cracked corner from when Jake dropped it last year. This phone was newer, nicer. I didn't even think. I just pressed the power button. It lit up immediately. No password. That should have been my first warning. There were text messages, dozens of them, from someone named M. The most recent was from yesterday at 2:47 p.m. It said, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. She's taking the kids to Emma's soccer game. We have the whole afternoon." My hands started shaking. I scrolled up. More messages, months of them, going back to February. "You make me feel alive again. I love you. I'm leaving him. I promise. Just give me a little more time." That last one, that one broke me. I sat down on the concrete floor of the garage. I couldn't breathe right. My chest felt tight. I kept scrolling, looking for something that would make sense of it. A name, an explanation, anything. Then I heard the garage door open. Sarah pulled in. She was early. She wasn't supposed to be home until 5. It was only 3:15. I shoved the phone in my pocket. My heart was pounding so hard I thought she could hear it. She got out of the car with groceries. She looked happy. She was humming. She didn't even notice me sitting there at first. "Oh, hey, I didn't know you were out here," she said, smiling at me like everything was fine. Like everything was normal. I left work early. I had a weird headache. Thought I'd get dinner started. I didn't say anything. I just stared at her. "What's wrong?" she asked. Her smile faded a little. I pulled the phone out. Her face went white. Actual white. All the color just drained right out of it. "Where did you?" she started. "Who is M?" I asked. She didn't answer. She just stared at the phone in my hand. "Sarah, who is M?" "David, I can explain." "You can explain what? That you're leaving me, that you love this person, that you've been lying to me for 8 months. She set the groceries down on the hood of her car. Her hands were shaking too. "It's not what you think," she said quietly. "Really? Because it looks like you've been having an affair. It looks like you've been planning to leave me and take the kids. And David, listen to me. You don't understand what's happening." "Then explain it to me." She was quiet for a long time. She wouldn't look at me. "I can't," she finally said. "Not yet. It's complicated." "Complicated? My wife is having an affair and it's complicated." "That's not." She stopped. She looked at me. "Who else knows about the phone?" "What? Have you shown anyone? Your brother, your mom?" "No, I just found it 5 minutes ago." She took a step toward me. "We need to talk, but not here, not now. The kids will be home in an hour." "I don't want to talk to you right now." "David, please, you have to listen to me. This is bigger than you think. If you show that phone to anyone, if you tell anyone about this before we talk, you could ruin." Her phone buzzed. Her real phone. She pulled it out and looked at the screen. Her expression changed. She went even paler. "Oh my God," she whispered. "What?" She turned the phone toward me. It was a text from an unknown number. It said, "He knows. We need to move the timeline up. Call me now." Sarah's hands were shaking so bad she almost dropped the phone. My wife told me 3 years ago she quit her job to stay home with our kids. Last week I found out she never quit at all. Let me back up. Sarah and I have been married for 8 years. We have 2 kids, Emma who's 5 and Jack who's 3. 3 years ago, Sarah worked as a marketing manager, making around $85,000 a year. We were doing okay financially, but childcare costs were eating us alive, like we were paying $2,400 a month for a decent daycare. So Sarah said she wanted to stay home with the kids instead. I was supportive. We sat down, did the math, and decided we could make it work on my salary alone. It would be tight, but we'd manage. Except we didn't manage. We struggled. We started going into debt. We put things on credit cards. I picked up extra shifts at work. Sarah would talk about how hard it was to be home all day, how isolated she felt, but she always said it was worth it for the kids. I believed her. I trusted her. Last Tuesday I got a call from our mortgage company. They said we were 2 months behind on payments. 2 months. I didn't even know that. My heart just stopped. I came home and asked Sarah what was going on. She got quiet. Real quiet. "What do you mean?" she said. "The mortgage company called me. We're behind. How did we not know this?" She stood up and walked to the kitchen. She didn't answer me. Just started washing dishes. "Sarah, answer me. How are we this far behind?" "I don't know, Mark. I've been doing the best I can." "The best you can? You said you quit work so you could manage the house and the kids. That was the whole plan. I trusted you." She turned around and there were tears in her eyes. But they weren't sad tears. They were angry tears. "You know what, Mark? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you acting like I made some huge sacrifice. I've been dealing with this for 3 years. "Dealing with what?" "Sarah, we need to talk about the mortgage. We need a plan." She dried her hands and just looked at me. "I'm going to bed." I sat at the kitchen table for an hour. I couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. Really wrong. The way she reacted. Like she was hiding something. The next morning I went through our bank statements. Actually went through them carefully for the first time in months. And I found something weird. There was a direct deposit hitting our account every 2 weeks. For $4,200. It showed up as Sarah Mitchell Services. Sarah Mitchell is her maiden name. We've been married 8 years. She never uses that name for anything. I pulled up our credit card statements. Went back 3 years. I found recurring charges for business software. Adobe Creative Suite. Slack. Project management tools. Things a marketing person would use. Thousands of dollars a year in expenses. My hands were shaking. I opened our computer and checked the browser history. It was cleared. I called her at around 2 p.m. She was supposed to be home with the kids. "Where are you?" I asked. "I'm out. Running errands." "Where?" "Just around." "Why?" "I need you to come home. Right now." There was a pause. A long pause. "Mark, what's going on?" "Just come home." She got home 40 minutes later. The kids were with her. I told her to take them upstairs to play. She knew something was bad. When she came back down, I showed her the bank statements, the deposits, the charges. You never quit, did you? She sat down on the couch. Her whole face went pale. How long have you been working? She looked at me and said, Mark, I can explain. How long? The whole time. My stomach dropped. The whole 3 years you've been working, the entire time you told me you quit? It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Sarah, you lied to me. For 3 years, you've been making money this whole time and we've been going into debt. We're losing our house, Sarah. She started crying. Real crying this time. I couldn't tell you. Why not? Why couldn't you tell me? She looked up at me and her voice was shaking. Because of where the money's been going? What do you mean where it's been going? It's going into our account. No, it's not. That $4,200 a week, I've been sending most of it to someone else. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. What? Mark, I need to tell you something about who I'm really working for and who I've been sending the money to. I just stared at her. It's your brother. I couldn't breathe. Your brother came to me 3 years ago. He said he needed help. He said he was in real trouble, and he asked me not to tell you. My brother who I hadn't spoken to in 2 years. My brother who disappeared and wouldn't return my calls. What kind of trouble, Sarah? Her phone buzzed. She looked at it and went white. Oh my God. What? She turned the phone to me. It was a text from an unknown number. It said, tell him now, or I do. You have 1 hour. Sarah looked at me with pure fear in her eyes. Mark, there's something else, something much worse, and you're about to find out either way. My husband's work lunches were actually with his ex-wife. I need to tell you how I found out because this isn't just a story about catching him in a lie. This is about how someone you trust can build an entire secret life right under your nose. My name is Sarah. I'm 34, married to Tom for 5 years. We have 2 kids ages 3 and 6. Tom works in sales, so business lunches were always normal. He texted me around noon saying he had a client meeting. He'd be back by 3. I never thought twice about it, but 3 months ago something felt off. Tom was taking these lunches every single Tuesday and Thursday, always the same days, always the same time. When I asked about it, he'd give me vague answers. Just some regular clients I'm working with. Nothing special, just the usual. That should have been my first red flag. Then I got a text message by accident. It wasn't meant for me. It was from Tom's phone, sent to his work number somehow, and it came through on our shared family cloud. The message said, can't wait to see you Thursday. Miss you so much. My hand started shaking. I knew that handwriting. It was from his ex-wife, Lisa. Tom and Lisa had been married for 3 years before they divorced 7 years ago. She lived 40 minutes away with their son from that marriage, Tyler, who was 15. I knew Tom had to pay child support and see Tyler sometimes. That was normal. But miss you so much doesn't mean you miss your kid. I didn't say anything at first. I was scared. I was angry. I was confused about what I was even looking at. So I did something I'm not proud of. I followed him the next Tuesday. He went to a small restaurant near his office. I parked across the street and waited. 20 minutes later, Lisa pulled up. She looked good. Really good. New hair, new clothes. Tom came outside and hugged her. Not a quick hug, a long one. His hand stayed on her back. Then they went inside together. I sat in my car for 2 hours waiting for him to come out. When he finally did, he was laughing. Actually laughing. I haven't seen him laugh like that with me in months. That night I confronted him. We were in the kitchen after the kids were asleep. I kept my voice low and steady, but inside I was breaking. Where were you today at lunch? He didn't even hesitate. Client meeting. Tom, I know you were with Lisa. He went pale, actually pale. His mouth opened and closed like he was trying to figure out what to say. How do you know that? I followed you. I saw you hug her. You were together for 2 hours, so I need you to tell me what's going on. He sat down at the table, took his time. Then he said, Lisa and I have been talking. She wants to try again. She thinks we made a mistake getting divorced. My chest felt tight. And what do you think? I don't know, Sarah. I'm confused. Confused? You're confused. So while I'm at home with our 2 kids, while I'm planning our family vacation, while I'm picking out paint colors for the house, you're out there having secret lunches with your ex-wife and telling her you're confused. It's not like that. What is it like then? Explain it to me. He couldn't. He just sat there, and that was worse than any words he could have said. I told him to leave. He tried to argue, tried to say we could work through it, but I was done. He went to stay at his brother's place. The next morning I called Lisa. I had her number from old messages. She answered on the second ring. Hi Sarah, she said, like she was expecting my call. How long has this been going on? A few months. And you thought it was okay? You knew he was married to me. You knew we had kids together. Tom said you 2 weren't happy. And you believed him? You didn't think to ask me? You just decided to move back in and wreck my marriage? She didn't answer that. I hung up. I hired a lawyer the same day. Tom is fighting the divorce, trying to get shared custody and keep the house. But I have everything documented. The text messages, phone records showing his location data. I even have photos of them together from that restaurant. His lawyer told him he has no case. I'm keeping the house. He's paying child support for both kids. And Lisa? She's back to being his ex-wife again. Turns out their little reunion lasted 3 weeks before Tom realized he couldn't actually leave his family. But he already did. He left, and I'm never letting him back. I found out my husband had another wife and 2 kids in the next town over. When I told him I knew, he begged me not to tell anyone. I told everyone anyway. Let me back up. My name is Sarah. I'm 41, and I've been married to David for 15 years. We have 3 kids together. Emma is 14, Jake is 11, and Lily is 8. We live in Portland, Oregon. David worked as a regional sales manager for a software company. He traveled a lot, like a lot, 3 days a week, sometimes 4. I never really questioned it. He made good money. We had a nice house. The kids were in good schools. I was busy with them. Life was fine, or so I thought. It started 2 months ago when I got a call from a woman named Christine. She said she was David's wife. At first I thought it was a prank, but she knew things. She knew about his scar from when he fell off a ladder in 2009. She knew his favorite coffee order. She knew about his mom's birthday in March. She was not joking. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold the phone. I asked her how this was possible. She said they got married in 2011, 4 years after David married me. They had a daughter, Sophia, who was 11, and a son, Marcus, who was 9. They lived in Salem, about an hour away. She had found evidence that David was seeing me too. She wanted to know if I was real. I said, yeah, I'm real. I'm his actual wife. Then I hung up and threw up. That night I waited for David to come home. He got back around 9 p.m. The kids were already asleep. I showed him the phone number. I told him I knew everything. I watched his face go white. He sat down on the couch and just stared at the floor. I asked him how he could do this. For 12 years. How he could go to another house, sleep in another bed, be a father to other kids, and come home to us like nothing was wrong. He started crying. He said, Sarah, I know this is bad. I know I'm a terrible person, but please don't tell anyone. Please, think about the kids. Think about what this will do to them. I said, what about Christine's kids? What about Emma and Jake and Lily? They deserve to know who their father really is. He said, I know, but not like this, not with everyone finding out. Let me figure this out. Let me fix it. Please. But I was too angry. I was too hurt. I didn't believe him. And honestly, I didn't care what he wanted anymore. The next day I called his company and told them. I called our families. I called Christine back and told her everything David had told me. I posted about it on social media. Not in a crazy way. I just said the truth. That David had been living a double life. That he had another family. Within 48 hours, everyone knew. His company put him on leave pending an investigation. His parents wouldn't speak to him. My parents wanted to help me hire a divorce lawyer. Christine filed for divorce too. Both of us at the same time. David tried to reach me. He said I had ruined his life. He said I didn't have to tell everyone. He said I could have let him tell people on his own terms. He said I was the one being cruel now. But here's the thing. I keep wondering if he's right. Maybe I was too angry. Maybe I should have given him a chance to come clean himself. Maybe I shouldn't have posted about it online. Maybe I should have just told our families and let it go. Our kids know now. Emma is angry at both of us. Jake cries a lot. Lily keeps asking if Daddy is coming home. I know what David did was wrong. I know he's the villain here. But am I the villain for how I handled it? Did I go too far?